All right, welcome to our first episode. We just finished the introduction, obviously, because we're still dressed the same and it's the same day and the same sort of recording. And again, I'm Jack, and that's...
I'm Ray.
And our format is very straightforward. We're just going to share a positive story or a positive thing that happened this week, and then we'll discuss it a bit, and then we'll also talk about the negative, and we'll give each other an opportunity to talk about it, and then we'll give each other an opportunity to expand upon it, discuss, and just ask questions about each other so that we understand the story a bit more. And if we have different opinions or different viewpoints, that's why we're doing this, so that we can build our relationship and also, in the larger picture, in the bigger scheme of life, understand just things more, and just have better compassion for one another, and just I hope to just be able to better myself as a person and better our relationship as brothers.
Yep, something that we didn't really get to do too much growing up around, but hopefully we can rejuvenate that now.
Yep, and that's why we're called the 9 Plus and Minus podcast, because we're 9 years apart, and the plus and minus is because that's how we're gonna. The format that we chose is just to be able to share the good things and the bad things, and from those experiences, I hope it'll just bring us closer as brothers.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to start off. Honestly, I have to say, just right off the bat, starting this podcast and having this idea to do this, and of course with Ray agreeing to do this, is something that is what I've been looking forward to this all week. I mean, there's a lot of things that are happening in my life. There's a lot of things that are happening in Ray's life, but to put aside an hour a week to just sit down and have a conversation is just so awesome, because we don't talk on a regular basis. We live, I would say, 600 miles away, Northern California. I live in Northern California.
I'm in Southern.
Yep. And being that far, it's not that easy to say, hey, you want to hang out. It's like the distance makes it difficult, but thanks to technology and things like this, it's now much easier to see. It's actually kind of, it's like to see you on here is kind of trippy, because I don't normally even see you that often in the year.
Maybe 3 or 2 times at most, I think.
Yeah, so starting this podcast is, learning how to do this, and I have to say, I'm not a professional or anything. I don't have crazy equipment. It's just us recording from our homes. That's kind of it, and using whatever equipment we have around, and having these conversations. I'm looking forward to learning more about Ray. I'm looking forward to understanding what's happening in his life, and in a way, from my perspective, being 9 years older, nearly a decade, it's going to be very interesting. I think some of the things that Ray, that you experience, is something that I've experienced probably as we go through this exercise, and I'll be like, I did that when I was young, and some of that I have to step back and tell myself, I went through that experience. I gotta let you go through that experience, and let you make the mistakes, and let you, have your success and have your failures.
I'm gonna have to put a white beard around you on this graphic.
That's one of those things that, growing up in our household, and our not just household, but cultural, the Chinese cultural kind of upbringing in America, the immigrant mentality, and growing up, it's almost like when we're this many years apart, there's automatically a kind of like I am your brother, but because we're so far apart, like I'm also the one that has to take care of you at times.
Yeah, we're also
So
like first generation.
yeah, so there's a lot of those kind of tropes that exist there. So starting this podcast and just like how did I say it? Just even saying, hey, we want to do something together was was a big leap, honestly. At the same time, because I can't do this show without you, and I can't imagine doing it like having a show to talk about my brother. Not having my brother would seem weird.
It's a good thing it's called 9 plus minus and not Jack and Ray totally.
Yeah, I think I went through many different. You know, I had to break it down. I broke it, kind of worked backwards, in a way that 9 plus and minus is symbolic. It's the age gap. It's the format of the show, and it's very clear cut. We're not trying to just ramble on for an hour talking about nonsense. There are very real experiences here that are timely, that are present. These aren't things we're trying to dig up from like years ago. It's more of things happening now. So I hope people stay up to date so they can keep up with things as we keep up with the things around our lives, their current events, news, and things like that. So at least for this first episode, I would say starting this podcast is like the biggest leap of rebuilding a brotherhood. And I hope people who want to commit themselves to this, because it's very easy to become distant and estranged from relations. And I've definitely been estranged from pretty much all my relatives at this point. So I think I stopped for a moment and said, yeah, I wanted to make sure that, you know, in this life, my closest person, at least relative wise, is going to be my brother. I don't think anyone's going to be closer than that. So, you know, whatever happens, I'll have these memories to look back on. Let's say we do this for like 10 years. Imagine that, like 10 years.
And I'll be in your spot.
Yeah, and I'll be even older. But I think it's possible to keep this up because it's just really, honestly, just having a conversation. And we're human. We'll experience things just as other people have experienced, and we'll be able to share. And hopefully, we'll be able to open up our minds and continue to build on this. And just whoever enjoys this ride, whoever wants to jump on and check in, that's great. Welcome.
Yep, we're here for you guys too.
Yep.
If you guys want some advice or other viewpoints on certain subjects that we may have brought up.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I can't say it. Advice is always tricky for me because it's like I think if you really want advice, I'll share it. But it's up to you to think if it's actually good advice. Because from my viewpoint, it's going to be different from your viewpoint, and it's always tricky. Like I think advice is one of the hardest things for me to give to somebody because sometimes it's like just go through the experience. Go through the experience. I'll give you advice to prevent you from getting hurt, you know, but it's hard for me to say if you're not going to get hurt. In a way, and it's a learning opportunity or something, and you know things you're going to be pretty safe. I think you're going to make that decision that you're not going to need advice. You'll do your own research. You'll Google it or something. You'll find information.
We've got AI nowadays. This is 2026. If you guys are listening in from the future.
But yeah, advice is hard. I don't know if I'll even give you advice unless you ask me about it. I mean, I'll give you my experience and what I think about something, but I'm not gonna say you do the same exact thing because I've also learned that lesson myself. Is I just it's sometimes not that it's easier, but sometimes it's actually harder to just shut up and just let someone do and go through it. It's easier. It's easier to step right in and say, I know what's best for you. That feels naturally easier. So I'd say harder is just shutting up and just, hey, you go experience, you go try it out and see what happens.
Yeah, I understand that one completely because that's like in our genetic makeup from our family.
Yeah,
And I have to
definitely.
hold myself back on doing the same thing to like other people,
Yeah,
friends in life.
exactly. So it's all about learning. Life is one big learning journey. Okay, so that's kind of my starting this podcast. That's my big high for this week. Like looking back at it, I think 5, 10 years or 2 years or however long we continue to do this will always be a positive that I'll look back on, that I'll be proud of, just because of the fact that we're doing it and not just talking about it is going to be the biggest one of the best things that's going to happen in my life.
Yeah,
Okay.
and hey, thank you for starting this podcast to begin with, generating the ideas and reaching out.
Yeah, I mean, just got to do it. So it's my pleasure, and we'll get to know the real Ray, the grown up Ray, not the little kid Ray that I grew up with in the household. So looking forward to it, and it's just staying in your life and knowing what's happening is going to be great.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, from what you know, from then and now, it's different than how I used to live. I guess at home.
Exactly. All right, so I would say the one thing, my learning or my negative or not so or the is, this week I had to, in my career, my work currently, and in this rare moment in my career where I completely was tasked with a responsibility that I have no clue how to do, no clue how to execute. And I stopped. I I completely recognize, and I would say if I was younger, I probably wouldn't, and I would be arrogant and just try to break through and do it. But I realized I was wasting time trying that, and there was a moment where I just said, I can't do this. I can't do this. Especially when it comes to career and work related things. I can't do this. I recognize I hit a wall. And I had to say, I need help. I need help. I don't know this. I need help. I think that was a hard thing to do as I guess as a man, as a Chinese person growing up, and then to come to that realization of being able to ask for help is hard.
And I might say it's also because even though we're in the same generation, I put you borderline also like the other generation too, prior to us being millennials.
Yeah, the boomers. I think it's boomers, millennials, and then
Yeah. And that's just the way we were raised as well. Asking for help. It's not an easy thing to do.
yeah. So this is one of those things where, I mean, it could be regardless of whatever the task is, whatever the objective is, and just stopping and realizing that I can't, like, it's like a brick wall, and no matter how hard I punch, I will never get through it. I will never get through it. I mean, you could punch forever until you break your hand and fist or whatever, but I would just never be able to do it. So I had to say stop and just need help, need to figure this out, because I know the person that knows how to do it can do this instantaneously, while I, not knowing how to do it, trying to keep my pride and ego in check, and just say, hey, I just gotta say no, I can't do this, I need help. And letting that pride and ego just like drop was a big moment, because it's like in my professional life there's like a chip on my shoulder. There's like, I want to prove something. But I realized there's really, you don't need to live that way. I understand now more than ever. It's a great drive to have, a motivation, but it's not the only way to live. It's not the only way to progress in your career. You can still do good work. You can still be valid and not have to always live with that chip on your shoulder. It's great during, people trying to hustle. You're like, I want to prove something, but you realize you don't need to have that mentality all the time. That it's okay to reach out for help. It's okay to assist other people just as much as I want to be the person that helps everybody. I also took a step back and say, I need help. Someone help me. And when you have friends, when you have people who care about you and you're generally a good person, people will come help.
I agree on that point.
Because they will help you because they know you, and that you're not. I'm not saying absolute like evil or bad, but some people, you kind of know them, they don't deserve the help. Versus like, this person deserves the help. So I'm glad to have built good relationships. That when I need help, people don't just go, oh, I don't want to help him, but I have to because it's my job or something. Like, they genuinely want to help, and I'm so grateful for that. And recognizing the value of people around me that are so open and just so kind-hearted and built that way. So that's kind of my learning for this week. That was, I don't think in my entire like 20 plus years of a working professional that I ever want to be the person that asks for help, but I put that hand up and I just gave up and I just said, I can't do this. I need help. So that was kind of my big moment.
Yep, I've seen that myself. Where I'm more, I don't know, more easily. I have an easier time asking others for help. And maybe that's because I didn't have to have the same upbringing in its back then. So I feel like me asking for help is probably not as titillating a task as it is for you in like career. Especially since I'm still like sorting things out and maybe recognizing like there are things I really don't know and need someone to show me the way to.
Yeah. Yeah, I think being the older one in this relationship is definitely that mind state of I just got to know everything, got to help everybody, but be the one never to ask for help. So now I'm much more relaxed, knowing that I received help, and if I ask for help, there's people around that will help. So I'm pretty happy about that learning and that self-realization in that moment this week. So all in all, definitely, I'd say, yeah, one of the good weeks for me overall.
Yeah, that sounds like a big load off your shoulder, like getting to that point, and realizing help is not something people should shy away from.
Yeah, it's like as the older I get, the more I realize it's just being human. Being human, that's part of the experience, is being able to get help. I took so many lessons of learning how to surf, and so many kind people out there giving me tips and advice and things like that. And I know it's my journey, but I'm always appreciative of people with the intention of helping and teaching. So, that's my kind of big takeaway.
Yeah. I was going to say the same thing. I'm sure lots of folks in your surf lessons, they reached out, helped you back up on your board.
Well, I mean, that's a little different. You just get back up on your board. You don't.
I mean, not physically, but like put you back where you need to be.
Yeah. That's why I love the sport. It's like a whole big. Surf is just like so many things about it. I could feel it. I could rant probably forever about surf, like on my own podcast, or something like that, because I love it so much and it's so complicated and dynamic. But I'm not going to jump into that. We can save that for a different episode. We're going to transition a little bit, and now we'll hear from you and
Yeah.
how your week's been.
My week has been, I think it started off rocky, mainly because over the past weekend, I guess, on Saturday, I just got my car back from the shop, and then another check engine light came on, so I'm like, oh boy.
So I'm going to stop there so that our viewers understand. So Ray had a check engine light. So let's go back a bit. You had an oil change
A month ago.
a month ago.
Yes.
And then what happened after that?
Yeah, so I had a friend that's a service advisor at a dealership, and my car is still under factory warranty maintenance plan items. And over President's Day, before the maintenance plan expired, I went over there to his dealership to get routine maintenance done. So like, he'd help cover me up on anything that's upcoming but not necessarily due yet. So like, he'll add that to the line items, and one of them was engine oil service. And needless to say, after a few days of maintenance and work, I pick up my car. And this dealership's not that close to my house at all. It's like an hour, 15.
An hour is hella far.
With traffic.
Hour is hella far, man.
Because it's like 30 miles away.
That's hella far for a dealership.
Yeah, but I picked up the car like an hour in. That day, I had realized, like, as I'm pulling off to like the exit ramp, I'm like, why is the car, because I have a plug-in hybrid, I'm realizing the charge for the electric part's not working. I'm fully on gas right now. I get off the freeway just to like go locally, because I realized at that point locally was going to be faster than staying on the freeway. And the car started to like shake a lot in the hood, and like I could hear some audible noises coming from there. I also smelled like slight burning plastic coming through the vents. I'm like, oh boy, this is not good. And like as I was at the next red light from the freeway exit, this passenger car next to me in the rear seat, they like pulled down the window, but it was like a kid. They're like in the car seat and all that. I'm like, is this kid gonna tell me like there's something wrong with my car? But like, I don't think they're like old enough to realize something's really wrong. They just like pulled down the window.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna like pull over at the next right turn. And when I got out of my car to check if I had hit anything in the front, like, no, everything's good. The hood's good. It's all clean. Get back in the car, turn it back on. Everything's fine. I'm like, okay. So I'm cautiously just driving home. A few days later, like, as I'm getting off work, I take the freeway home. I wanted to punch in the sport mode for fun. And then that's when my car went into limp mode. And I'm like, oh no. Check engine light comes on. I'm like, oh no. So I'll call up my dealership and then schedule something for like the week after. Because I was on a Thursday, but they didn't have any like courtesy vehicles available until Monday. So that's when I was able to bring it in. But until then, I was only able to drive in the electric mode of my car, which I don't know why. Like at first, the electric mode was not working, and gas was working only. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, we're not technicians. We're not mechanics.
Yeah, and so like after like a whole 37 days in a dealership, back and forth from that dealership and my other dealership that had originally got service maintenance, that they found out that the original dealership, during the routine engine oil service, they had inadequately filled the engine with oil, so there was a lack of oil.
Okay.
And I was driving home with like, I guess, no engine oil that day when I picked it up originally. So
the dashboard didn't tell you that? I mean,
no,
it's
there was
usually
no low engine oil light or anything that came on.
Well, it's not a light. It's like
Or like an iDrive message either.
Yeah. Oh, really? Wow.
Nothing came on, so I wouldn't have known.
Strange.
So I'm like, what the heck? When they later told me that there was not enough engine oil put in during service.
That's like a warning. I remember that's a warning. Like I got those warnings when it was even a quart less. I had to top it off because I got those lights before. That's a very interesting.
Yeah. So they found like afterwards, they're like, oh yeah, the original technician didn't fill it up all the way. They didn't put in the right amount. So your engine seized, and we need to replace it.
Jeez.
So I'm like, you got to replace it. I don't know if that's good or bad because there's like dozens of cables and wires and all these things connected to an engine. I'm like, oh boy.
I mean, replacing it is I think that's. I mean, that's not too bad. But then now you know, at.
Even the dealership can screw things up, guys.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's like a basic, very basic. Okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
they had ordered me a brand new engine from Germany, shipped it, and then got all that stuff hooked up, ready to go. I picked it up like last week.
That sounds good.
Drove it for a day, completely fine, and then the next day I drove it again in a further trip to visit my in-laws since they're here in town. I get a check engine light again. I'm like, what the heck? I mean, this time, thankfully, there's no iDrive message showing up. So to me, I'm like, okay, everything seems fine. So it's probably pretty minor. So I texted my service advisor. I'm like, hey, check engine light's back on. I'll text you Monday because he's not working Saturdays, but
Okay.
I have his personal number, so I can at least give him the heads up.
His personal number. That's hilarious.
Well, he gave me his personal number first.
Okay.
So it's like, it should be pretty minor. Yeah, we'll check on Monday. So Monday, I bring it in.
Okay. So that's this week now.
Yep, that's this week now. This past
Yep.
Monday, I bring it in. And like I thought it's pretty minor, but they had early, like as soon as I got there, they're like, hey, we got a loaner for you all set up and ready to go. Just check over it, sign the paperwork and all that. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll go through that process, sign the paperwork, inspect it, courtesy vehicle like they want me to do every time.
Yeah.
And then I tell the people, I'm like, hey, hang on, I'm not going to take the car out yet. My service advisor told me like they're going to get the tech to bring the car back out in the back and scan it and check what's wrong with it. So like I probably don't even need this courtesy vehicle.
Okay.
So I'll wait there for like another 30, 40 minutes for them to scan it and check over what's needed. And I was told by the service advisor after a while, like, it was a loose hose. Like, one of the clips got loose for the hose.
At least it knew
So,
that.
like, yeah, so it's like some air was leaking out here and there from, like, whatever component it was. I don't remember now. But, like, it was super minor and, like, it wouldn't have affected the engine or any parts of it. So I felt pretty good about getting the car back. And, like, I've driven it since Tuesday, Monday now, and, like, no issues at all. And, like, I'm stoked the car's finally back. I don't think anyone likes dealing with having their, car gone for that prolonged period of more than 30 days.
Oh man, that is why. I mean, that's why I hate cars. Honestly, I'd rather not have to drive a car on a daily basis. I don't mind cars if it's like a road trip or something. That's fine. I guess there's a purpose. But I tell you, at my age now, I just like. I wish I lived in a country that was smaller, that you don't need a car unless you just taking it on the weekend trip or something.
Right.
Like it's not. I mean, car culture is such a huge. Like you need a car in America. You just can't get it. You can't.
Yeah, I'll say if you're in New York and maybe Chicago, you're probably fine without a car because of better public transport systems over there.
Yeah, and I think if you even needed one, you could rent one or grab an Uber or something to get around nowadays. So, but I mean, I love driving to the beach to surf. I mean, that's what I love to haul around. But like my day to day, if everything was just close by and I didn't have to do it, that would be like the best. That would be the best because dealing with like it's such a pain that you can't work on a car anymore. Like cars built these days, you just can't work on them. You can't fix them yourself unless you really have all the tools and everything. It's not something you can just do.
Yeah, it's also not cheap to get any parts you need either, especially for foreign cars, exotic cars, and
Yeah. I mean,
non-mass
yeah.
manufactured cars like Toyotas.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, car ownership is one of those things in America that you just have to. It's part of life, and we just have to upkeep and maintain and maintenance and all that. I mean, when I was younger, cars was like a fun thing. I would say I mean, it's not my hobby anymore, or it's not something that I'm into anymore, but definitely it was like having a fun like two-seater coupe was a fun time. I mean, I even had two motorcycles and all this stuff like, but that's not me anymore. I mean, even the car you got now is like a family vehicle.
Yeah. And the reason why is because I used to have that same two-seater coupe you had, just the last generation model of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Last year when I was helping out my friend's wedding, they have an ice chest full of like boba, milk tea, and whatnot, an ice chest full of it, and I'm supposed to help them move it to the venue for like the reception.
Man, it's got fold down seats. I think you can do it.
Well, I thought I could, so my friend was helping me lift the cooler into the trunk of my car, but the trunk of my car doesn't have the clearance enough for the cooler to fit in. Like I can like kind of put it in, but it will not fit in the trunk.
Yeah. It's a different kind of opening.
Yeah. So I'm like, this is a sign. I think I'm in that stage in my life where I need a bigger car now.
Yeah, and that's why I want a minivan. That's my dream car now, is a minivan.
I've got nothing against minivans. I will say that at least when they open the door for passengers, they're not swinging it out wide. It just slides.
Yeah,
back.
exactly. It's the best thing ever. Slide. You can sleep in it. You can store. You could put anything in it. You could put it fits everything. You could take out the seats. You could do so much. You could live in it. I could live in it. At least I'm ready for the minivan life one day.
I know like a couple of celebrities out there. They have mentioned like they prefer the minivan. Even like the guy from Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, Sung Kang.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, my ultimate car is like the minivan.
Yep. That's the truth. That is the truth.
And I've seen minivans now. I might have gotten a minivan if things would have been better in terms of like what they provide for the cost. But for like $50K on a minivan, I'm like, especially like the Sienna I looked at, I'm like, it's still pretty dated in there. I mean, yeah, it's reliable and like, the parts are going to work.
What are you talking about, man? The new Siennas? They have a freaking refrigerator, in-car vacuum.
Well, they didn't have those things when I was looking at them originally.
Dude, they are souped up and specced out with a hybrid engine, 40 miles to a gallon. I'm just like, dang, this is legit.
Yeah, so I'm like, I mean, at the time, yeah, but like, who knows? Maybe my wife, when we trade in her car, it could be a minivan.
Okay, I don't think that car's gonna trade in for anything at this point, man.
I mean, not trade in, but like when we like switch it out or swap it out for a new car.
Yeah, I get it.
It might be a minivan.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, where we'll be at that point in life, because for a minivan, you're gonna need like usually a bigger family, or you're driving more people altogether.
No, I just drive it just because. Even if it's just me, just rocking the whole, Paul Walker from Fast and Furious. Just rocking that minivan in the opening scene. That I am ready for that. Hauling my surfboard, sleeping in it, and just everything.
Yeah, it would fit your surfboard. I don't even think you need to put in a top.
Yeah, I don't need to. I could just put it straight in there, and yeah, it fits everything. But if I need more stuff, I can always put things on the roof rack. So it's the best thing ever. Best thing ever.
They're very comfortable. I'll give it that. And like the one feature I did really like when I did look at minivans was in the Chrysler Pacifica. It has the intercom features for the driver to talk to the people in the back. Because I was thinking, this is just like what they do in planes.
Oh my
Pilot
gosh.
speaking to the passengers.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I thought that would have been something very fun to do if I had like a minivan like that feature.
Oh, one day, one day. All right. So, what's your downside, your negative for the week?
Yeah. Actually, before that, I do want to say you mentioned like you're not in that like car stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Whereas like for me right now, given our age, I'm still like in that car stuff. They're very fun to me. So like one of the courtesy vehicles I did get and drive for like a week was an i5 M60, which
Oh,
I'll say
the
the electric
5
M60.
Series.
Yeah. It's not a real M, but it's still like M tuned
Yeah, yeah.
for an electric car, and I'm like, that car blew me away.
Well, any electric car is gonna go. It's gonna go fast.
Well, that M60 in particular, I was like, wow.
Wait, you said it's
Yeah, i5 M60.
i5. So yeah, it's a 5 Series yeah, M tune. Yeah, I remember. I know what that is. That's,
Yeah, it's not like an M5 or M3, but
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
the M60. So I was
It's the electric version, the I series electric
Yeah.
cars. Yep.
and it was the first time I had driven like I think one of BMW's
Yeah, when it's
Electric
100K,
cars.
100,000. I'm sure that's
And
probably
M60.
spec'd out to be $100,000.
So I looked it up. That car was 86.
Yeah, it's up there. You add in tax and any others, like tax is gonna make it 90,000. Destination is about like 100 grand. Yeah,
Yeah,
gonna blow
I mean,
you away for 100K.
it's like the same cost as a number 3, but yeah, I'm still into cars at my age now, where I'm like these are fun and like my friend group, I've got folks who are into cars and like talking to about them with me. Hence, that's why I have my friend as a service advisor, and like several others in my group that like not total gearheads, but like they do enjoy
Gearheads.
a nice ride, you know.
I get it. I get it. It's car culture is a big thing. So, this is the difference. 9-year difference. 9 years later, you won't be. You'll be the minivan life like I'm talking about right now.
I mean, that was debated whether or not to get a minivan, but then for me at this point, I was doing my research. I was looking at like price per value. The X5 that I have now, I'm like, this is probably the best bang for my buck for like the stuff I want in a car.
It wasn't for those 30 days.
No, but I'll say at least that i5 M60 was fun for a week, and then I did at least get to like drive some other cars that were like the new X3. I'm gonna say like the interior.
It looks good. I like it. Looks good.
I don't like the interior of the X3.
I mean, from outside it looks good.
There's a lot of plastic. I'll say that.
I mean, that's the only way you keep costs down. I mean, it's a courtesy car, so I get it if they decontent some of this stuff, but it looks good on the outside.
Yeah. Well, they just didn't have any more X5s for me at the time, so they put me in an X3.
Yeah, I mean, that's expected. That's expected.
Yeah. I also had the 5 Series for a week before I got put back in an X5 as well. So I had like 4 different loaners during this time period.
It's kind of strange. They don't just give you one loaner that you use throughout. You have to keep swapping cars.
I had different circumstances where I needed them to swap me around.
What the
Like,
heck? That's so
I
strange.
had a ski trip, so I was not going to take a 5 Series up the mountains.
You mean
so
the
I had-
i5?
No, just a regular 5 Series.
Why not? I mean, I think a regular 5 Series is enough to haul your gear.
I had to haul like other people's gear too.
I guess. Yeah, that would make a little bit more sense.
Yeah, so they put me back in an X5. So I was thankful for that. At least it was the new one, the 2026, and then I got to at least see like the differences between all digital and all that versus mine still having buttons.
I mean, I don't know. Like, unless you're putting things on the roof, and the X5 and the normal 5 don't have that much difference in space.
The X5 is much bigger than the regular 5 Series.
Like, you're just using trunk space.
Yeah, we fit like a bunch of snowboard, skis, and then like in addition to like all our other gear and groceries and like 2 more passengers.
I kind of get it, but I don't know. I don't know because I feel like a trunk of a 5 Series would be pretty big too.
I would think it is, but it's just not nearly wide enough sometimes.
Yeah, the
And
wide
like,
part I understand. But if you put down the seats, it would definitely be wide. But if you need to carry people, yeah, X5 would
yeah,
have more cargo space in theory. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. So
Uh,
I was put in a loaner 4 times, almost a fifth.
that's some crazy, but
Yeah,
at least you get to drive different cars. I mean, that's a definitely plus
yeah. I call it my BMW
positive
bingo.
out of that experience. So it's just a hassle. That's the only thing.
It definitely was a hassle because
If
my dealership was not close.
Yeah, if it was close, I would say yeah. I'd totally I'd do this all day. Just let me drive everything in your lineup.
Yeah, I mean that was the fun part of it at least.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's fun for my age. For Jax, I'm not so sure.
yeah. It'd be a hassle, man. I have to put time aside to drive an hour to a dealership. That's like me going to San Francisco to get my car serviced. That would be ridiculous. Ridiculous. I would not drive that far to get a car service.
Yeah, I get it, and I don't think I would do that normally. But this was the first time I had like gone to that dealership because of my friend that's a service advisor there.
I guess. I mean, I guess if that makes a difference, but I mean, my service, if my Toyota Indy shop is like 2 miles. I just walk there. If I need to pick up my car and I have time, I just walk there.
Yeah, I mean you get to use an indie shop. I'm still under warranty.
Well, eventually you're going to be in an Indy shop because, I mean, maintenance is just expensive for BMWs. It's just
Yeah,
expensive, so hopefully it's
I know
not too
that pain
bad.
going in. I think
Yeah.
every BMW owner that consciously buys a BMW
They
knows that
lease
zone.
it. They don't buy it. That's the trick. They don't buy
Well,
it.
the enthusiast buys them, like the M's.
Yeah, but that's different. I think they still lease it. I think they just lease it in
I don't think
general.
they lease a older M. That's not on the lot.
I mean, they're either in your position where they just buy it used, so they take less of a
Yeah.
hit. But yeah, any new car, I would say a majority of all the new BMWs are leased. No one buys them. It's not that kind of car to just buy. Like, yeah, it's not that kind of car to buy, unless you really love BMWs. But even then, it's still like a. I mean, I guess if you live in the world where you have all the money in the world, then nothing matters. You play by your own rules. But
I don't even think people buy BMWs then.
yeah, because
They
if
might
you
be
have
buying.
if you have all the money in the world, why would you buy a BMW? Right? Yeah, that makes
But
sense. Yeah,
I enjoy them, and you got me started on them.
yeah, they're fine. I mean, I love the handling, I love the drive quality and all that stuff. I just
They're
don't like
fun cars,
paying for that.
even at the SUV crossover level.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't value that experience as much anymore. And the Lexuses and Toyotas are much more capable adventure cars
Yeah, I think
for
about the Lexus,
value.
and I can't get
Value-wise.
over like the RX. Paying like all that money to have like nearly the same engine, just differently tuned as the RAV4.
I mean, BMW use the same engine throughout their lineup. They just tune it differently. It's the same concept. It's not that much different. They use it. I mean, for the longest
I
time.
mean,
I mean,
At
right
least it's
now.
a BMW to BMW. It's not like Lexus to a Toyota where you have.
I mean, it's everyone
different
knows
brand
it.
level.
A Lexus and Toyota is the same thing. The same thing. It's like BMW is just one brand, but they could easily they share engines with other. You know, they did it with Toyota with the Supra. It's the same
and
thing.
my current X5.
Yeah, I mean they do that. That's just being cost effective. Lexus was just built so that there's just a market for luxury, a very refined version of Toyota, and it's only for the American market because of marketing. I mean, that's all it is. It's just marketing. Because the average person, remember, these are mass market cars. The average person will never, at least these days, they will never generally change their oils anymore. It's not like when I was growing up, I changed my own oil. Nowadays, you don't even do it. You don't even think about it because there's so much stuff that goes into changing an oil. One of the most basic things, but so it's like mainstream where you just have to take it in because of the electronics, the computers, and all these other things. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I changed the oil once in my old 3 Series, and I actually bought a car lift or car jack and got the kickstands or whatever to hold the car wheels in place.
Yeah, I mean, I remember doing that too
I
for
didn't like
the.
being under the car. I did
I
not
mean,
feel completely safe.
I
I'll be
did.
honest.
It was fine. It was okay. No problem. But yeah, so what? Okay, that seems like a pretty positive, even though it came from a negative. What's your other experience for this week?
I do run often. I haven't ran as much since my last half marathon. That was the Run Disney one. Tries just didn't have like the results I wanted, but also like lacking like a clear motivation, I guess, besides for health reasons. So like one of the negatives I had this week was when I was running on Friday, my ankle had flared up again, but not during the run. It was post run. Like I was just doing core work in on my like living room floor, and my like legs are like in the air because I'm doing like the V sit ups, and for whatever reason, like once I got back up, like I couldn't put weight on my ankle that much. I had a sharp pain and all that. I'm like, what the heck? And this is not like the first pain I've had for that same right ankle. I'd say this is like I've had pain in my right ankle since like my OC marathon back in May last year. And I just never really checked it out because it wasn't like a consistent pain, I'd say. But I never had this sharp pain before, so like putting weight on the ankle was hurting for a little bit.
Okay, so I mean that was just yesterday, isn't it?
Yeah. So like this is like if this was for those that are listening, I'm sorry you won't be able to see this on video, but I'm basically putting my arm out to demonstrate like more where the wrist is to where your hand is. Like
Okay.
my ankle point that hurts is like right here, like at the top of where it meets, like right
Okay.
here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know why that spot hurts in particular. And it feels like if you drop a dumbbell or something on your foot, like that spot hurts.
I mean, that's like that's the one thing I tell you, and most people, I would say, I mean, you took running and marathons pretty seriously, but you haven't trained the way that I would say you're missing the component, and this is me coming from a certified professional trainer perspective, like is you're not building the leg muscles. You're not building your leg muscles so I think that's the part about marathon training that most people skip is they think they just need to run. That's all they need to do is just run and build up endurance. And you skip out on things like resistance training, building strength and power. Because if you look at the mechanics of running, it's basically your body being able to propel itself forward and having the strength to do that. So I'm not surprised to hear, because their ankle is one of the first points, right? You contact the ground with your foot contacts, and then from there, your mechanics are gonna go your glutes, hamstrings, quads, and all that to enable that running motion. So you definitely should. Well, first recovery right now in your stage, and then like for example, I wear barefoot shoes, like minimal cushion and padding. My feet they look beat up, like they look ridiculously beat up. But wearing these shoes for about like 2-3 years now, I have much better like strength in terms of my foot contacts with the ground and fixing my stride and things like that. So I highly encourage you to seek like a professional if you're like really trying to run, to get an evaluation on your form, your stride length, all that. Get the numbers in,
I have done those.
and and like work on that stuff, because I could run forever, but then I realize in order to increase your pace and things, it's not just simply running faster.
Right.
It's like you got to be more efficient in your stride, like, and that's done by increasing your muscle strength
Yep.
and things like that. So you got to be careful of injuries. You just got to be careful of injuries and recover
There's
properly.
one caveat to this ankle though. It's my right ankle.
Okay.
And for like the longest time in my life, I've always been able to like, I can like flex it and then like snap it, like make that
I don't know.
snapping sound.
I mean that snapping
like,
sound. I don't know
That
what that's
snapping
from.
sound, like that is where that pain resides in, like that part of the ankle.
Well, I don't know if it's like the cracking sound,
Like
snapping
it's
sound.
that spot where it cracks.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely something. So, yeah,
Which I
100%
did check out before with a PA like 5 years ago.
PA.
And a physician assistant because the doctor was not available.
A physician assistant? What the heck's that's an assistant? Not even the doctor, but the doctor's assistant.
Yep, because
That is
doctors
very interesting.
have like a 3-4 month booking period, so like you take what you
Wow.
can get in this current day and age.
Wow.
You don't just get to see your PCP immediately. They're usually booked like months in advance.
Wow.
So I took what I could get.
Wow, that is something I've never heard of. I mean, I've heard people be like, all right, the nurse will see you if it's mild enough. Like you don't need to see a doctor, you just see a nurse. It's generally okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Didn't know
Yeah, he told me
was a thing.
that back then, like, there's nothing to worry about.
So that's the thing. That's the thing I realized too. So I suffered, and actually, it's not just you and me. I think millions of Americans suffer from low back pain, sciatica, and all that. You hear that all the time. And I finally am confident enough to know that I don't suffer from it anymore. I can flex my hamstring safely. Like I rebuilt my lower back muscle, and it's part of my surf journey. In order to retain my back extension, I had to rebuild my lower back, and being able to stand correctly and having a good posture, standing up straight, and things like that is it taught me a lot. And that's why I went to get certified as a personal trainer, not to pursue that as a career, but to understand the mechanics of the human body and how it works, and muscles and bone health and all that. So I encourage everybody to go understand health. Just understand health, like how the body works. And the more we understand how the body works, I think the better and the more informed we are, the better we are at making decisions that will allow us to live a healthier life at the end of the day.
I do agree. Folks should at least get their health checked every year by their PCP, whoever they can.
It's yeah, and just man, you gotta ice it, compression, ice, and try to. Well, if it's not swollen, I mean, it's a very.
I mean, it's fine today. It's just like for yesterday, I could while I could put weight on it and still walk, there was still like pain. I mean, obviously you shouldn't. I shouldn't be like walking with that and putting weight on it. I should have been like doing rice.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Well,
oh, that must be a light. But yeah, definitely. These things, I remember ignoring these flare-ups until I got to a certain point where it leads to something major. And that's where you don't want. That's what you don't want, is something serious to happen, a major injury.
yeah. So like that flare up I had from my ankle, it started last May, and it went away after some rest, and then on and off training, it was fine. But like sometimes during races, when I actually like go hard, that's when it'll flare up. Or even just like when I was doing the Dopey challenge back in January, I did walk some parts of that challenge for like the 10K or even a half, just to preserve myself for like the full marathon. And like there are points where like my ankle flared up from just walking, which I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know why. I never had it during walking, but from running, that's when that's when it flared up, but not walking. So definitely got to get it checked. That's my negative is I need to stop putting it off and like reach out to a health provider, a specialist to see what they can.
Yeah, and make sure it's not one of those doctors that just says you're okay.
No.
I definitely I went to go do physical therapy and get an understanding of like there's a difference between a doctor treating a symptom versus someone trying to cure the cause. That's one of the big things that you have to differentiate when you go to get treatment and
Yeah, the
understanding.
thing, I don't know if I'm going to reach out to my PCP,
Yeah.
because chances are they may refer me to like PT, which I already have a PT.
Those
if
are
I need to.
expensive. Those are expensive.
I'm glad my insurance covers it,
Oh,
and
that's
I do
good.
have like
That's good.
FSA if I do need to use it for my company. But if I was gonna just waste my time going to a PCP, I would have just gone to the PT, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if
As long
thankfully I
as it's
have
covered.
a
As long as
yeah,
it's
it's
covered.
covered, and thankfully like I do have a PPO plan. So like if I do enough research, maybe not too much Google foo or whatever nowadays, and
Yeah.
maybe like find the right specialist for like foot or even like athletes, whatever they recommend.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you'll get back on the track soon. And I'll be surfing a dawn patrol tomorrow morning, so I'm actually going to get to bed soon. But wishing you the best as you enter more and more into your 30s.
Yeah, I'm in my 30s, and like everyone else in their 30s, they're either doing a marathon or they're playing like a new recreational sport, and or another hobby that I'm blanking out and can't remember right now.
The hobbies of the young. As long as you find what you love to do, that's all that matters. And that's a wrap for our first episode. Again, it's very delightful. It's actually pretty entertaining just talking to you and listening on how your week went and how you see life and how you experience it. So I'm looking forward to doing this on a weekly basis and just continuing to get to know my brother better.
Yep, we are in a new era.
That's right, and that's how we're gonna wrap it up. All right, Ray. I look forward to talking to you again and recording our next episode. Other than that, have a good night.
See you guys next time.